bowl where President Obama was when he gave his inaugural speech. And he said, if you remember, he talked about the worker who was willing to take a cut in pay or hours, I don't know which one it was, I don't remember, but a cut in pay or hours so that a co-worker could keep a job. And he talked about that as an example of the kind of sacrifice we need to be making in these tough budget times. I heard that and I said, there it is. Didn't say anything to anybody, including my staff, but I knew that's the road out of this. That's the road that we got to take. Why? Now, some people will argue, well, why should we protect jobs? City's over bloated. You know, they got too many people working there. Well, some could argue that, but you protect jobs because when you have a 12.5% unemployment rate, you're going to add substantially to that, and different than other times when the unemployment rate is at 3 or 4 or 5 or 6%, and they're likely to find a job right away. They're not likely to find a job right away. So we're putting people out on the streets. People that provide library services, people that are repairing the roads and highways, people that work for transportation, people that provide all of the services that we provide in the city of Los Angeles. But the second thing that shared responsibility and shared sacrifice does is it protects services which you care about, even unless you work in the city, even more than what the impact of the lost jobs would be. You care that we would cut services. Let me give you an example of last year. You've got people that can verify that. Since I've been mayor, I've expanded library services more than at any time in our city. I did that. Last year, I said, okay, we got a $296 million. Ray, is that what it was last year? $296 million deficit that we had to fix. So I said, let's reduce the hours on Sunday, or eliminate the hours on Sunday for the regional libraries. I had my friend Julie Andrews, you know, Sound of Music, and you know, the whole thing. I had a slew of people writing. I had everybody just taking umbrage. That's all we were trying to do. Just cut Sundays regional libraries. Even with that, it would still be more than when I started out as mayor. So I know what's going to happen if you're talking about 2,800 jobs. Guess what? Everybody's going to be able to demagogue you. Every constituency is going to come out of the woodwork and say, you're devastating the summer pool program for kids. You're cutting, you're eliminating street repair. You're hurting, every issue you can think of. So instead of that paradigm, I said, hold it. Let's figure out how we can protect services and jobs. Let's figure out how, working together, we can get through this crisis that was mentioned, the worst that we've had, worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, probably the worst jobs crisis since '82 or so.